All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with an awesome message, and it's understanding the nakedness. We're going to understand the nakedness of the truth. Okay. Uh, what has happened is that we are in what you call the midnight hour, the dark days, and we are hearing so many voices in the land. We're just overshadowed with different voices going to and fro everywhere you turn, on your news, in movies, on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere you hear all these different voices. And what I'm beginning to realize is people are taking heed to all these voices, and it is embedding itself within them. And they're now wanting to live a life where light cannot intervene, because there's so many voices in darkness and in this midnight hour that we're in this time period that we're in, loaded with wickedness and evil. And people are taken to so much darkness to where light causes them to tremble. Light interfere with them in their spiritual walk with the Most High Yah. You see what I'm saying? To where they're more geared to the darkness that's in the world than they are to the light that leads them closer to the Most High Yah. I have a wonderful message here, but I also want to share with you something that the Most High has allowed me to understand in 1 week. 1 week. And when I received the fullness, I realized that it was already present here on the earth. It's been here. It already exists. So I'm like saying, but Father, all of these professional degrees, individual, they knew this exists. They knew that this exists, Father. They knew it exists. Just like saying that we are the people. They know that we exist. That's how powerful this is, what I found out about myself. I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm only speaking of what the Father revealed to me. And when he was revealing it to me, he was trying to show me and lock it in me that now you got both sides. What you got to say now? I love that. Now you got both sides, Deborah. What you going to say? And all I could say is, Father, it's been here. They knew it, Father, y'all. They knew it all the time. There are many things that individuals in this whole world, all of us, it's so much we already know, but we reject so much of what is truth. And we begin to teach, preach, lead, act, bring up, instill the lies into individuals knowingly. So in 1 week, I was sitting down on the couch, and I'm so sick of these videos on YouTube about the chosen, about the narcissists, and all these different people with all these different personalities. So when I sat there and I saw this word EMPATH, I said, what is that? That's what Sister Deborah said. What is that? And I sat back and I listened to several professors who teaches and who went to school with their little degrees. And I said, you mean they knew this exists, Father? They knew it all the time. This is also something that can help the young man that I was training. This could help him if he do his what would you call it, study, and sit down long enough to hear, so that he can take something out of what he get. And empathy, we have heard that word throughout our whole lives, not knowing that it is also a form likened to spiritual, but it's in the flesh realm. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? Sister Deborah had no idea. Sister Deborah been living and walking and talking and everything in the spirit realm, because I trust in that spirit realm 100. But the Father gave me an awesome gift this week when he gave me the opportunity and put it right before my face. And I kept seeing it. I said, I'm going to see what this is. When I heard him, it blew me away. I said, but Father, is this true? I had to look one after the other, listen to the doctors and the psychiatrists and the professors define EMPATH. And each one of them, all of them was on one accord. And it bothered me because in me, I'm saying, but Father, I know the right side. I know the right side. But on the left side holds this word. EMPATH. I'm sorry. On the left side. And how could they hold this on the left side, knowing that it's something that they have searched? Many of them have the same situation and has the answer in this fullness. And here I am on the spiritual side, on the right, saying, but Father, how could they have that? Wait a minute. Why is that on the left side? He said, Deborah, is on the left side. It's because it's for the flesh. I said, but Father, it matched the one on the right. He said, yes, it does. I said, wait a minute. Now, hold up. How could this match the right? And it's on the left. He said, because one is for spirit and one is for flesh. And because my life has been walking and hearing him talk and teach me from the wilderness, that's where I rest my head. But he wanted me to see this word so I can best describe who I am in the flesh and in the spirit. Okay. And when I heard that, I said, but Father, that's who I am, Father, y'all. That's me they talking about. And it hurted so bad, y'all, so bad to know that this here is a human being on the left that has the characteristics of he that's on the right, which is the spiritual one. But yet he's on the left, meaning the flesh. So the Father said, I gave it to you, Deborah, so you shall know. And why he gave it to me? Because within the last month, I searched myself and could not find. And the Father wanted me to see what you're looking for is not there in what you're looking for. But I'm going to give. He didn't say he's going to give me. He just gave it to me. And it took a whole week for me to just sit and digest the fact that it is me. It's me in the flesh, and it's me as the spiritual one in the spirit. It's me in the flesh, and it's me in the spirit. And I think that is off the chain. Do you know what that's also telling me? That I don't have to double think anything. Everything that I need is within me. And if it's not in me, where it is and where it resides, I can still search out of who I am and know that it too has the characteristics of he that is in me. That's deep for me. All you do is listen to the people teach you what that word means. I wonder, remember I told you when I was 48, I was on the floor kicking and hollering, asking the Father, why am I like this? Why I'm such a giving person? Why do I give? And it seemed like I can't do nothing but give. That's all I know myself to be. And I couldn't understand, why is it feel like I'm addicted to having that type of heart? It didn't make sense to me. It did not make sense until the Father told me that you need to fully understand what give is. It is give and gain. It is who I am. That's who you are. And that's when was explaining to me, everybody's talking about love, love, love. That ain't it, Deborah. It's give and gain. So you're running around here battling what you are in me and I am in you. Give and gain. So when you get to this word here, not here, here, guess what? That is exactly who it is. And it cannot be changed. It cannot be moved. It cannot be erased. That empathy carries, they call it energy. Some of them call it spirit, but a lot of them call it energy. More of them call it spirit. There's a lot of them call it energy. And they said that individual that is this can tap into anybody's thoughts, anybody's feelings, anybody's desires. And it's nothing nobody can do. And I'm like saying, but wait a minute, Father, that's on the flesh side. What they doing over there? He said, Deborah, I wanted you to see how when a person is capable through me, Deborah, of getting their spirit under the subjection, and they abide in me and I am in them, then I come to help their spirit get their flesh under the subjection. And when it's under subjection, you fall right under this word here, empathy. So this girl here came to the earth like this. All a battle for nothing. All this time, I couldn't understand. How was I in kindergarten to 8th grade and everybody's afraid of me? Why is people so afraid of me? They can't handle even me opening my mouth to say hello. Because it's like it's the world is finna in. I couldn't figure that out. I get in high school and I couldn't understand why everybody was afraid of me. I told y'all that. The Father told me he had a hedge around me. So I just assume, okay, it's the hedge. Now he's allowing me to get the ideal of the flesh. The spirit has a hedge, and it was powerful enough to carry the hedge to and around the flesh. But the flesh also is a carbon copy of what your spirit also is, Deborah. And that's that. That's why you are that. You can tell somebody something because you are empathy, whether you like it or not. And that's how they describe it. It's something that a person can't get rid of. They can't do away with it. They can't hide from it. And nobody in the world can change it. And that's what I've been suffering all these 63 years, you guys. I've been suffering this all these 63 years. And I always said that as long as the spirit is greater in me, I will long suffer this thing out. I will endure it out. not knowing that there was a left side that knew identical who I was in the flesh. I can't seem to have nothing or get nothing because I'm always worried about others. Do I have to worry about people who I know? No, I can't help it. I don't have to know them. They don't have to know me. I just have that empathy at the highest. At the highest. You know how headaches can be. You can have headaches every now and then. Some people have it through blood pressure. Some people have headaches for all kinds of reasons. Some people have all kinds of headaches. But when I went to the hospital, the lady told me it's called grandma headaches. She said, but yours is the highest that there is. That's why you go into seizures and you have died from it. That's what the lady, the specialist who deal in another country. She was in this country though, but she was telling me that's what she deals with her people with, this same thing that I had. That's why she knew that it was the highest level of headaches one can have. Now, Sister Deborah, that type of headache, I think I ain't had one of those probably in about 30 years. Yes, in 30 years. But when I did have it, when it got to the highest of the highest, I did, my whole body just caved in. Organs shut down, everything. I went into seizures after seizures. But I say this to say that empathy and the spirit one is who I am in the flesh, and the spirit one is who I am in the spirit. And I say to you all, I still yet in all give the Father Yah that's on that throne all glory and honor for allowing me to see the work of him in me, allowing my spirit to become one in his. And through him, in my spirit, abiding in my spirit, has taught my flesh how to be under the subjection to my spirit. Because it's no way empathy at the highest could be me, except my flesh, my spirit has gotten victory over my flesh. You all take our time, look on YouTube, look on Google, and you see the study, you'll wonder, well, how could that be on the left side when you would think it would be on the right side, on the spiritual side? But when you hear them, you can tell that these people are not spiritual people, but they give the truth of the whole matter, that it's a person that has an issue with knowing how to feel people, discern people, and they can tell the vibes of people. They can do this, they can do this, they can do this. I'm like saying, but what are they able to do that for? They in the flesh. That's my question to the Father. He said, because Deborah, when you are in the spirit, it is the highest. But when you are working in the flesh out of the spirit, this is why you're where you at. And I said, but Father, this is how I've been since I was a little girl. And even empathy is a person that has this large amount of hate with any and everybody that come in contact with them because they feel intimidated. They feel threatened. You see? They feel jealous, envy. Because this is how they said. They said because they can't handle the energy that you have. They can't handle the energy that you have. And what do I believe? They can't handle the anointed. That's why I say this is a very powerful thing for me to learn this first and foremost, because it's a gift from the Most High Yah. I don't think nobody can be able to say nothing to me no more. Because now I know where I stand on both sides. Because Yah has revealed it to me. And I'm listening to them to listen to them talking about empathy And I'm like, empathetic. Is it empathy? It's empathy. And I'm listening to them talk about it. And I'm like, say, but Father, it sounds so spiritual. Guess what? Because they're in the flesh, they don't want to address it as spiritual. But if you listen to them to define it at the highest, that's all it is. That's all it is. And the Father wanted me to see it as it is in the spirit realm. Now, Deborah, you have it in the flesh. Anybody hate you? I told you, first have to hate me. And as they broke it down, they said nobody likes the individual because of the energy. Now, what did I do to somebody in kindergarten? First grade, seventh grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, all the way in eighth grade. What did I do to anybody in high school? Nothing. You get what I'm saying? What did I do to my family? Nothing. All they saw me do is achieve. They couldn't figure out everything she does. Why is it she master it? Why is it she's able to do all these things and perform all these things? I told y'all, everything I put my hand to, I nailed it to the wall. This is a lot to do with the individual that everybody is running from instead of to. Remember, I told y'all, if you really, I don't care how hardcore I speak or how I set the crooked straight in the sense of what I say, they'll never come to this page. Never will they come to this page. So what empathy I think I pronounced empathy is it's a threat to everybody around it. They are intimidated. They are, what's the other word? Threatened. And I see that even on my page. So what it led me to believe is what I was saying yesterday. These are serpents getting the heck out of the way. Now, I don't blame them. Praise the mighty Yah. Now, we're finna get to the nakedness of truth, okay? And we're coming from Ephesians chapter 3, verse 1 through 6. We finna bring nakedness out of truth. We finna bring the truth in the form of four nakedness, okay? Because I'm geared up right now. I can write my life out and over because just him giving me that, and it's more like, but Father, why did you wait so late, Father? Y'all, why so late did you give it to me? He's always on time. Always on the time. Late is me. Him, always on time. And I give him glory and honor because now the way I'm going to step on YouTube from now on, hey, get your butt right now off because you don't belong on this page. That's all I can say. That's where I'm at now. I know who I am in him. And that's all that's important. He done showed me both sides. I had no idea that the flesh side was matching the spiritual side to the T. And the world knew it. The world knew this type of person, just like they said schizophrenia or bipolar and all of these other mental disease and all these things, the narcissist. But when you get to this word here, hear them break that thing down. It'll blow your mind. You'll say, well, wait a minute, what are they doing? Wait a minute, hold up. Where they get that from? It's strictly the guideline of spiritual. But they found out that there are people that is at that level, at a high level, and that's why people will hate them. They are hating them out of being afraid. Don't that sound like Genesis 3:15? That hate? Because they know that these people can discern their energy. I tried to tell y'all that yesterday, but I was bringing it to you on the spiritual side with the discerning and try the spirit by the spirit. And here they are telling me, hey, lady, it's on the natural side too. How did it get on the natural side? When the spirit side has the Ruach in it. And it teaches the spiritual of who I am to abide in me. Now, hear me and hear y'all. He's abiding in me and I'm in him. He's teaching this flesh how to stand down and submit to the spirit. So when you get to this here and you get all these people, professionals that did they search, they found out it's not like schizophrenia or narcissism. They said it's totally on the opposite end because it has a vibe that can tell a person their whole life. And I'm like saying, how could that be on the left side? That's what I kept saying to the Father. It got on the left side from the spiritual side. That's why they stop it right there. They say now the energy that individual have can tell the whole story of anything. I'm saying this type of person, this empathetic person at the high level, yes. The way they break it down, and they said people can't nobody change it, can't nobody do nothing about it. It's reality. And I'm like saying, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. So her Sister Deborah is trying to bring forth something and couldn't understand. Why do you feel you're talking to a brick wall? Why do you say go over the head? Why are you saying this? Because it's all in me and y'all have on both sides. He got me on the spiritual side and he got me on the flesh side. And that's what he was explaining to me. You got both sides. What are you buckling up for? They better be buckling up. Okay, so when I got to Ephesians chapter 3, I'm finna bring truth to its nakedness. In Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 1 through 6, verse 1 said, for this cause I, Paul, the prisoner of Yeshua HaMashiach. Now, why is Paul claiming to be a prisoner? What is a prisoner? Okay, we know a prisoner is someone that's locked up, someone that's in a small space, locked up, and they can't get out, they can't go to the bathroom, they can't go here, they can't do this, they can't do that. They're bound in a cage. So Paul is saying that's who he is. He's telling them that he's telling the Gentiles, that is who I am in Yeshua HaMashiach. Paul is telling them that I'm a prisoner. He says, I am the prisoner of Yeshua HaMashiach. As if Yeshua HaMashiach is a jail and he is a prisoner. You get what Paul is saying? Where you going to? He's talking to the Gentiles, y'all. So I'm going to bring some nakedness to truth. He's talking to the Gentiles. Where is the two Jews? Oh, no, wait a minute. He's talking to the Gentiles. So what is he saying? He's telling them that I am a prisoner to Yeshua HaMashiach. He's letting them know I'm bound. I'm in shackles. I'm in a cell. Now listen to what he said. For you Gentiles. Now we know that Paul is speaking and teaching the Gentiles. Now, what I'm about to say is it's not going to make no difference if I say it or if I don't. That's where I'm at from now on. Because Paul says something in Ephesians chapter 3 verse 1 through 6 that's going to wake and shake every last one of y'all butts up and realize that your own tribe been lying. Okay, so Paul already identified himself to the Gentiles as a prisoner of who? Yeshua HaMashiach. And he was saying it for the Gentiles. So he's saying to the regarding the Gentiles, all because of the Gentiles, I'm a prison. As if he was put in prison that's called Yeshua HaMashiach for the Gentiles. So he's in that prison with Yeshua HaMashiach for the Gentiles. What's wrong with that picture, y'all? I see why they trying to run from Paul. I see why they trying to run from what you call the new. I see why they running. Because a while back when I got into the study, I also saw where the Christians were being prosecuted. And I couldn't understand, well, who are these Christians being prosecuted? You all been lied to, and you're going to continue to be lied to. Because like I believe people who are in the dark, they need to be lied to because they are about the dark seed. They are about the flesh. They are about the seed of Satan. And they are not coming out. Okay? So this is what he said. He's saying, for you Gentiles, I'm in prison. I'm prison. I am in prison for you all. Meaning I am in a cell to do the work for Yeshua HaMashiach. For you Gentiles. For you Gentiles. For you Gentiles. Now watch this here. Now, he said he's a prisoner. And the whole purpose of him being a prisoner, as if the Gentiles is why he's locked up. He is locked up for the Gentiles. How about that? That's what y'all called him for. That's his appointed and anointed position, is to work with the Gentiles. So that is his position. Okay? Now this is Paul. He's right being a prisoner because y'all called you to this here with a holy calling from the kingdom. That your mission, just like I try to explain to you all, and I know them go over the head. This prophet is not just a basic prophet. This is a prophet unto Judah, a tribe. I am a prophetess that's taught from the wilderness so that I can be in the midst of the tribe of Judah. Paul said, I am a prisoner, Deborah, in the same situation that you are a prophet to Judah. I am called to as a prisoner to the Gentiles. Same thing. But who has a problem with he that called us to such a holy calling? Sick people. Sick people. Now watch this here. So I like that the way Paul set that up, because as I was reading, I said, wait a minute, Paul, hold up. You sound like me. I'm a prisoner to Judah. So when you hear me talking about Judah men, y'all sick. You sick. You're going to die sick. You're going to rise sick. Because that's my calling from the kingdom. I'm here to talk about men. That's my calling among the tribe of Judah. Same thing Paul is saying. His calling is for the Gentiles. Okay. Now, Paul began to say in verse 2, if ye have heard of the dispensation of the grace of Yah, which is given. Wait a minute, Paul. What you doing with the giving? Deborah, it was given. Deborah, it was given. To whom? Given me to you work. You work. He's letting you know, if ye have heard the dispensation of grace of God, which is Yah, which is given me for you work. Who is you work? The Gentiles. What is dispensation? Dispensation is management of a household. Dispensation means management a household affair. Dispensation means administrator position. Dispensation means an overseer. Dispensation means a stewardship. So, Paul, you mean this is what Yah called you to? The Gentiles. He was called to work with the Gentiles and take the gospel to the midst of them. Why would Yah allow them to inherit the gospel if it's all about you, Hebrew? It doesn't make any sense. Because the Hebrews, what they did is they got totally 100% out of order. And because they so far out of the spiritual order of the Most High, Yah, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they don't give a rat's behind if they bring things back and line them back up in the proper order of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They can't. Because it's too much darkness that they have embraced and worshiped and idol to where they can't even see light. They can't see Sister Deborah being the light amongst the tribe of Judah. And the only reason Sister Deborah is in the midst of Judah is so Yah T's are crossed and his eyes are dotted. For what, Deborah? So when you come to the kingdom, he said, Mass was there. Where were you? Mass was there. Where were you? You see, so we are not going to have that mercy and grace we have today. We're not going to have that tomorrow. So go on, eat it up and eat it down. Because after a while, you won't have it. Okay, so here we are in Ephesians chapter 3, and Paul is saying, if ye have heard the dispensation of the grace of Yah that is given me. He's telling the Gentiles, this is what Yah has given you, grace. He's given me the position to be the overseer or the steward or the management over you. You see the point? You see the point? And this is what he is. He's called to give the Gentiles the gospel. Okay, so verse 3 says, how that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery. But there he go again. Hey, Paul, I got you. I got you. Paul's sitting here telling them. Listen to what Paul say in Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 3. How that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery. Who did? The Most High Yah made known to him the mystery. See, the mystery don't be, you all just as bad. Yah gives the mystery to his servants, not to you. Not to you. It's the servants of the Most High Yah that receives the mystery. And Paul is letting the Gentiles know that the mystery was given unto him. Listen to what it says. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 3. How that by revelation he made known unto me the mystery. And this is what Sister Deborah showed y'all over and over and over. Even in Revelation chapter 10, he said all is finished. He said it in Revelation chapter 10, all is finished outside of the prophets, my servant that has the mystery. Paul had the mystery then. Sister Deborah has the mystery today. But y'all, it's like T's crossed, Deborah, eyes dotted. It ain't about if they receive it or if they believe it. I like my T's crossed and my eyes dotted. So you thinking if he's coming down here to make you, if you crooked, to make you straight? No, he ain't. He ain't coming down there because half of you ain't going to come out of what you are. Okay, so here it is in verse 3. How that by revelation he made known unto me, to them, no, to me, Deborah, to them, Paul, to me, Deborah, no, Paul, to the Gentiles, no, Deborah, to me, the mystery. And many would have a problem digesting the fact that I tell y'all that he has given me the mystery. It's no way I've been walking since I was 4 in him and him in me to stand here before you all today with nothing. Like 99 billion on these devil platforms, and all of them are here before y'all with no mystery, none have no word, which is the food for the spirit. No spirit and truth, no light, no nothing. They come on here and y'all rack up on them. Y'all need to, because y'all put them right there for you. So he says, listen to what he says, as I wrote afore in few words. So there go Paul. Now, what's beautiful about what Paul is saying is what I've been saying to you all for a couple of years now. There's a difference between the word and the words. There's two. You have to be able to distinguish the both. How? By the word. And which word is that? The Ruach that lives in you come and teach you this book. Let me give you an example. As I was studying Ephesians chapter 3, verse 1 through 6, I came up on verse 4. And it says, verse 3. In verse 3, at the end sentence, it says, as I wrote afore in few words, with an S. What Paul just did is identify to you all that these are words. These are words. And he just explained it to you. I wrote afore in few words that the Father had given me the mystery. Now, what part of it is the word? Mystery. That's the word. But Paul is telling them that he wrote ahead of time to let them know that the Father had given him the mystery. That's the word. But he let them know in words did he write to them that the Father had given him the mystery. That's what Sister do when she get on, Sister Deborah, when she get on here. I'm not coming to erase the study guide. I'm coming to climb on top of it and eat it up. You see? With who? The Ruach that rests therein. Okay? So here, I like Paul saying that because they did it and they put it in parentheses. So you can see that that's a standoff. Paul letting you know, hey, I wrote that. I wrote to you all about the mystery that y'all gave me. Okay? And through and he said, wrote afore in few words. He didn't give them the whole lowdown or nothing. He knew he was coming with the mystery that y'all had given him. So in verse 5 and verse 4, it says, now watch this here. Watch this very careful, you guys. In Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 4, it says, whereby when ye read. So now Paul is telling them, these are my words. Paul is not saying that it is the word, but these are my words. Paul just broke the whole everything because he's telling them that these are words. Now, what is Paul saying? Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 4. Whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery. He's saying you ain't going to understand the mystery that was given to me, but you're going to understand the knowledge in which I give unto you because I hold the mystery. I had never heard Paul break that down like that. That's what made me get on here, to put the nakedness to the truth. Paul sat there and told them in verse 4, whereby when you read, that means natural reading, y'all, ye may understand mine. He didn't say y'all understanding, mine. He didn't say y'all's knowledge, my knowledge, my understanding. That's what this book is, y'all. It is words that cannot be uttered correctly until you have received the Ruach, who is the word. Okay, so he says, whereby when ye read, ye may understand my knowledge, what? In the mystery. Why? Because the mystery are given to the servants, the prophets of the Most High Yah. It's not given to And he's telling them by him having the mystery, I'm going to give you some understanding of it and some knowledge. And I hope you get it. From my understanding to you, from my knowledge to you, you will get the understanding of Yah's mystery. Same thing here. That's all I'll be talking about. Now watch this here. This is the power to it. He says, whereby when ye read, he's talking to the Gentiles, ye may understand my knowledge in the mystery of what? Christ. In the mystery of what? Christ. Why? Because you all want to continue to walk around here lying, deceiving, and believing that you can live day after day and night after night with the lie without knowing the power. Right then, you notice Paul let them know the mystery of the power. That's what Sister Deborah taught 2 or 3 videos on the power. Because that's really where the mystery is at. It's surrounding the power. And if you don't know the power, you don't know Yah himself. So you just run around telling people, oh, I got the Ruach, I got the Holy Spirit, I got the Holy Ghost, I'm saved, I'm this, I'm that. Stand down. And it goes right back to where I thought. They refuse to sit down under the Ruach to be taught or to wait to tarry for the Ruach. Instead, they took off running, making their owns, and the people ran right with them in any and every direction, belief, denomination, Bible, and lost books, found books, everything that they ran with, the people ran behind them. And this is why T.D. Jakes, Eddie Long, Joyce Meyer, Joe Osteen, this is what happened. People took them, they took off running to be something, and the people went following behind them in thousands. Thousands. After how many churches they built, everything, all of them had more than one building, more than one state. They all had it. Many of them do. So here Paul said in verse 4, Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 4, whereby when ye read, you may understand my knowledge in the mystery of the power. Oh, look like Paul was trying to give them some understanding of the power. And for Paul to have done that, you all have been wrong about the Gentiles. Because what Paul is saying, Deborah, I'm a prisoner of Yeshua HaMashiach. I come to work with the Gentiles. And my work is to carry the mystery of the power. You notice it ain't the mystery of Yeshua HaMashiach. No, it's the mystery of the power. That's what the kingdom, the gospel of the kingdom is all about. Bringing that bad boy by power down to the earth. That's what Yeshua was saying all the time. And here go Paul sharing it with the Gentiles. And it's making me feel good. It makes me feel good to know that I thank the Father that I was able to be in the midst of all nationalities. I didn't have to hate one over the other, even though theirs could be that way. I didn't have to stand where they stood. I thank the Most High for that, because what Paul is saying, that Deborah, I'm in prison. I've been appointed and anointed to do this with the Gentiles. You know how you say, Deborah, you with the Judah? But I'm sure Paul had a better chance than I did. But in it all, it's a blessing that y'all got everything wrote up and wrote out. For it is written who's who and what's what. So Paul is also letting them know that the knowledge and their understanding in the mystery of the power. So I had no idea that the Father was suffering Paul to give the power of the mystery of the power unto the Gentiles. We better watch ourselves running around here trying to talk about we the people, we the this, and we the that. Okay, now verse 5. In verse 5 of Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 5, which is other age. Now listen to this. Paul saying, which in other ages was not made known unto the what? The sons of men. Which, Deborah, verse 5, which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men. Men. Is he talking to women or he talking to men? Is he talking to you women or is he talking to the men? Is he talking to the woman or is he talking to the men? Is it okay to talk about the men? I'm going to talk it whether it is okay or not. Right here, I stopped. I said, wait a minute now, Paul. The Ruach going to have to help me with this. The Ruach going to have to help me with this. Because when Paul turned around in Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 5 said, which in other ages was not made known unto the sons of men. What are you talking about, Paul? What are you talking about, Paul? Okay, Deborah. Back in the days, it wasn't made known to the sons of men. But why men, Paul? What's this thing about sons with the S of the men? I don't get it. He said, the Father said, this is it, Deborah. This is a prime example of what you be seeing all the time. To be made known righteous would have to come out of he that is righteous. And the seeds in Genesis 3 and 15 came out of the womb of a man. And he was to teach the sons about righteous. It takes you right back into that. He said here, which is other ages was not made known unto the sons of men. So anything made known, y'all coming through the bloodline of the man to the sons and to the daughters. He's coming from the father to the son to the daughters. Because the daughters and the son is we all women, we all grandma, we all coming out of that man's bowels. And he too ignorant to understand that in this day and time. To understand that we all come out of the womb of a man bowels to really change everything that has been taught. It makes everything everybody's saying a lie. It makes all this hate between men and women a lie. How can you hate? How can you hate yourself when that's when the women come out of you? That's showing you the cuckoo clock that exists in this day and time. Any way of a woman is out of a man. They don't understand that. So Paul is sitting here saying back in time past, the sons of men had no idea of this power. They had no idea of the power. That's what Paul is saying. The sons of men, meaning males, only males I'm speaking to, Deborah. I'm speaking to their sons and I'm speaking to men. Back then, they didn't have no idea of the power. Watch this here. As it is now revealed unto his holy ones, only to his holy ones, y'all. See, that's why I tell y'all, stop sitting around trying to claim something that is not for you to claim. Y'all know who his holy ones is. He know who his servants are. He know who his true prophets are. He know who his is, was, and gonna be. It ain't about the choice of the flesh of a man and women to determine who's who and what's what. When y'all know who he got sealed, who he appointed and anointed, predestined, ordained, and foreknew. But how? These people on this earth come out of nowhere. Well, they ain't true prophet. Sit your tail down because everything you are is false. That's why you try to identify everybody else false, because you false. See, one thing a false a teacher, a false preacher, a false pastor, a false bishop, a false evangelist, a false prophet, and a false prophetess, and a false seer, a false watchman cannot do. If they are false, they cannot see the real one, for they stand in light. They so used to looking at false in their darkness, they can't see light standing before them. And that's the way y'all got it going on. Okay, so in the verse Ephesians chapter 5, it says, which in other age was not made known to the sons of men. Well, wait a minute. It was not made known to the son of men. It was not made known to the days, the son of men. About what? Christ. About what? The power. But watch this here. As it is now revealed to his holy apostles and prophet by the Spirit. Now, why is it flesh and blood of women and men can come and tell who's false and who's not, when the Spirit has called us to this position? So how can the flesh of a nasty mouth woman and a nasty mouth man who's been leading people on these platforms for all these years and ain't gave them no food for the Spirit, but yet they can tell you this one is real and this one is not? This is the false prophet. Sit your tails down. They go after this one lady because she's getting all these subscribers, and they don't like it. So they want to categorize her as a false prophet. Oh, why are you messing with her? Why are you messing with her? Because you it's not her you want to mess with. You're against the subscribers and likes she has. That's why you want to bother her and say she's not a real one, because you're not a real one. Okay? So I like what Paul is saying, because he said, as it is now revealed by his holy apostle. See, these people out here that's calling themselves a priest, apostles, bishops, pastors, leaders, evangelists, prophetess, watchmen, seers, and all of this, Maureen's, are false, because they have no spirit and truth with the light in their right hand. They are false as false can be and get. So here we are. Paul is breaking it down in verse 5, that Christ, the mystery of Christ, was not revealed to the sons of men. See there, women? It was not revealed to them, the power, as it is revealed through the Holy Spirit of his prophets and his apostle in this day and time, and in his day. Now, the last verse here is verse 6. The last verse to Ephesians is verse 6. Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 6. Now, here this is what Paul says. That the Gentiles shall be fellow heirs. Fellow heirs. So why are we hating to the highest degree of hate? Because they got perpetual hate. And as a prophet in the wilderness, I'm here for the tribe of Judah. They have perpetual hate too, even if it's toward each other. Hello. So what's the difference from the Gentiles having a perpetual hate and Judah having perpetual hate? How is y'all gonna weigh that bad boy? How you gonna weigh it, Father, y'all? How shall it be weighed? How is one greater than the other? That's like sin, wicked and evil, abomination, adultery, or fornication. All of that. How you gonna weigh one better than the other one? Because you are this and a this, you say you the true this and you the true that, then you gonna weigh yours better than this one over here? How can wicked and evil be weighed that way? One can have it, but the other one can't. Perpetual hate. Oh, let me tell you something. Judah has perpetual hate in the center right here today. A living prophet to speak that. Judah has a level of perpetual hate amongst their own people. So them having one, the Gentiles having one toward us, how can we measure it? Which is righteous, which is just, which is upright? Neither nor. All of it is wicked and evil at its highest. Okay, so as Paul began to talk to the Gentiles, verse 6, that the Gentiles shall be fellow heirs and of the same body. What's that same body, y'all? What's that? The body of who? Christ. So they in the body too, y'all. That's the nakedness of the truth. So how can I be in the body, tell them that they're not in the body because they are Gentiles, or Gentiles, because they're not the same Hebrew. So I can't tell, I can tell them that you're not in the body. What did Paul just say? Paul just said it. They are fellow heirs and the same body. We only have one body of HaMashiach. Only one body of HaMashiach. And Paul is checking us today. I come to be the prisoner of Yeshua HaMashiach for the work of and the teaching to the Gentiles. And he's sitting here telling us that they're going to be partaker in the body. Yeah, that's deep. That means they are part of the church. Hold up. Hold up. See how we as a people, I don't have no shame in telling the truth of the whole matter. Like Paul said, I'm not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of Yah. Don't be ashamed to tell spirit and truth. Now here it is. It's telling you that, and it says in verse 6, that the Gentiles shall be fellow heirs and of the same body, and partaker, and partaker, and partaker, and partakers, and partakers of his promise in Christ, which is the power by the gospel. That ended. You talking about naked? That's the naked of the nakedness of truth. All this stuff about, oh, that is and that is. That's why I say, check yourself. See where you stand. I thank the Father for allowing me to write the Psalms. My Psalms. Not David's Psalms, but my Psalms. Because it caused me to search me. And in the process of me searching me, I'm saying, search me, Yah. Search me, oh Yah. Search me, oh Yah. You see? Because we are got our mouth on any and everybody. And we need to put it more so on ourselves. Our ugly mouths. Now, another thing about what Paul is saying, Paul left out Christ on both Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 4, the mystery of Christ, which is the mystery of the power. Now, from the time of Yeshua all the way to now, if you don't know the power, you don't know Yah. While they running around here, let me mess you up from the floor up. You know why they running around here talking about Yah? Here's his name, Yeshua, Yahuwah, all this and this. Guess what? The name rests in the power of who he is. It is the power of who he is. HaMashiach could be his name. For it is the power of who he is. Preaching the gospel of the power. Wait a minute. How can you preach gospel of power? How can that be done? Because the name is founded also in his mighty power. And that's one thing you all do not know nothing about. And here he go right here. And he turned around and told you the Gentile is going to be partaker in the promise of the power. Verse 6. And then he turned around in verse 4 and said, and he's going to share it with them, the understanding and the knowledge of the mystery of what? The power. You mean the Gentiles going to get to know the power of the Father. And Sister Deborah run around here trying to figure out, how do they know that? How did they get to know that, Father? How do they know truth? Father, how do they know truth? How are they getting it, Father? Why ain't we getting it as a Judah? Why Judah they getting it, but the Gentiles getting it? I've been telling y'all that for probably 7 to 8 months. I don't understand how they getting it. It's because my mentality is sometimes get as low as yours. Want to place them where all the voices say they need to be, instead of placing them where Yah has them. So when I realized what Paul was saying in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 1 through 5, I had to step back into Genesis. And when I step back into Genesis, I end up coming into Genesis and realizing, okay, Father, if they missed the power back then, and if they still miss it today, that means you decide to let the Gentiles be partaker in the body and the promise of the power. Wait a minute, something's going on. I've been having a time this year, last year too. We're trying to figure out, Father, how is they coming up pulling? Why are these Gentiles pulling up with truth? Where they getting that from? Where did you get that? Because my mind was, if nobody don't get the truth, at least Judith, pull up. And y'all keep telling me, Deborah, why are you trying to get them to pull up when they ain't gonna pull up? Only if I give it to them to pull up. But he didn't pull up these Gentiles because Sister Deborah been hearing them and trying to figure out how did they get to know the truth. Now there it is. Paul, way back, it was given to them to be included and being partaker of the body of Hamashiach, which is the church, which is the saints. Partaker in the promise of the power. And what was the power? What every one of you all missed. You missed the power a long time ago. When the power came in Genesis 1 and verse 3, the power stood up. Genesis 1 verse 6, power stood up. Genesis 1 verse 9, power stood up. Genesis 1 verse 11, power stood up. Genesis 1 verse 14, power stood up. Genesis 15, and I said, hold up. The power ain't standing. He said, no, check out the word let in the lowercase, Deborah. I looked at Genesis 1 and 15. I said, yeah, I see the let. He said, recognize. I said, it's a lowercase. That's why the power that I said to my right hand, let it be this way, this way, this way, and this way. That's why Genesis 1 and 15 don't have the capital let. It had the lowercase because I was given the order of the way I wanted it. Then I said, well, what about Genesis 1 and 20? Power. Genesis 1:24, power. Genesis 1:26, power. We missed the power in Genesis chapter 1. And it was Christ. Christ was given that name in the kingdom when the lamb was slaughtered. Yah created his own power into a form of his only begotten son, the Son of Yah. And he gave it the power, the word, and the spirit to come down with the Son of Man to complete the one mission of the Father. We missed the power a long time ago. And here we are in the year 2023. That man, that elderly man that just left, Tony Evans, the platform. I sit back and I said, Father, look how rich these people done got. Look at TD Jakes. TD Jakes gonna be the rich for the rest of his life. He's old anyway. These people ain't got nothing to lose, y'all. They didn't get rich off of deceiving you. All of them. Joe Osteen, Joyce Meyer, all of them got TBN. It's not even on there, I don't think, anymore. And they had gotten rich. Her and her husband, everybody then got rich off of deceiving, using a Satan technique to come to the earth and deceive the whole world. And they did an excellent job and have the audacity to stand today and say what I'm saying. Question what I'm saying. Doubt what I'm saying. Question in the way of negativity with the level of hate. You better sit down or get you a ticket to the clown show. because they're waiting for you. Okay. So one thing about what he did is he gave Paul to teach the Gentiles what we reject. And that's how they got in. But heaven had them wrote in under belief and faith. All they had to do is believe what Paul was saying through faith that was branded in them, that they would come back. So all this trash about Hebrews, about we to this, we to that, how dare we sit and proclaim to be all that and have reneged on everything the Father has gave us order to? How can we be so rebellion, stiff-necked, and disobedient and still have that heart, call ourselves with shooting fire out like we somebody? So Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of that, because I did. Being a student of the Most High Yah, I'm telling you that school in the wilderness sure do me some justice in the spirit. And Sister Deborah, said again, I hope you got something out of it. Go back over it and let it control you, because that's what Paul did. He taught that thing. He spoke that thing. And I liked the order and the way that he did it to assure me. I feel he left me something to run on in. Whether he left you something or not, I know that he left me something. And I thank the Father for me not having that spirit of hate toward different nationalities, all because of what we did to get to where we at. How can we blame somebody for us being where we at when the Creator's right-hand power placed us right where we at? And we still where we at? Or we gonna how long are we gonna say they did? Until you go down with the ship called they. Because y'all's getting heads out. So Sister Deborah, hope you got something out of it. And that's it for me. I say unto you, shalom and shalom.